Good evening. Good evening. Oh, I can see the trolls have been having a very good time. There's a difference between being a troll and being a bully. And I want to speak about how me and my family are going to be social distancing until the year 2035. You heard it, 2035, which will be about 14 years from now, we'll be social distancing. And want to know why? Because of bullying and evil, destructive people. I honestly, um, somebody had said something about bullying is character building, and it's not. It's absolutely the most scary and has been the most traumatizing of my life. Bullying, watching my kids get bullied, watching so many people confused, dangerous, lost. Yeah. And I think that more parents should consider homeschooling their children. I think it's crazy when you see somebody move to a new area and they just throw their kid on a school bus as if it's nothing. You don't know who your kid is going to be sitting to the left of, to the right of. You don't know who's going to be in front of your kid or behind your kid. And as you can see, the schools in America have become war zones. And if you are an intelligent person, you can teach your child probably more than what they can learn in school. I remember my three oldest were in school. And I never forget my son, he went to the bathroom and some ignorant little bastard followed him into the bathroom and just began to beat him in his head. Luckily, my son didn't suffer any brain damage. I remember right before I moved out of Missouri, I remember a group of kids chasing my children home from the bus stop, standing out in front of my house, harassing me, threatening me, threatening to kill my children. Why? Because they were bullies. You look at the news, you look at the reports of these poor kids that go to school, they get bullied and they kill themselves, or they suffer from long-term psychological damage. And we're supposed to just normalize this as a society. It's supposed to be normal. We're supposed to want to fit in with it. Most of the bullies who call themselves trolls, they're not trolls, they're bullies. Most of the bullies that you see on YouTube were bullied as a child. I've never been a bully. Never. I didn't become vicious until my children were being attacked. That's when I became vicious towards the attackers. Hey, Smokey. That's when I became vicious towards the attackers. You attack and bully me, I'm going to bite your ass back. I'm not the type of person that's going to cower in the damn corner for nobody. And I'm not afraid of bullies. I remember when I was in high school, I hated school. I hated every fucking second of it. I remember being bullied in school. We are social distancing in my family until the year 2035. And I believe that every family has the right to do it, especially with COVID going around. You know, they got this vaccine out, and now it's like, oh, well, we can just all, I'm like, nah, nah. Because eventually the masks are going to come off. Eventually. Yeah, people in this world are fucked up and people in this world are dangerous. You want to tell me that I should risk my child's brain and his mind so that he can fit in with a bunch of superficial ass people that he doesn't know? Over my dead body. Over my dead body. Yeah, never, never. I intend on breaking that cycle of psychological damage because I remember being physically abused as well as some other things when I was in school. Physical abuse, mental abuse, psychological abuse, all in the name of a subpar education. And you know, they say that statistically children that are homeschooled are smarter than children that are in school. And I see why. I see why. Yeah. So, honestly, I am a witch. I have always been an outcast, and I don't give a damn about fitting into this world with a bunch of damn psychopaths. I'd rather take my little small percentage. I don't need to be popular or liked, just respect it. I don't care if you don't like me, but you just need to respect me. There's people walking around like zombies right now because of their trauma from school. What is up with this whole thing? You know what? I got to tell you and see, you know what? If you are somebody that is asleep or either you want to give your children over to that programming, then you probably would not understand what I'm saying. You probably have a problem with me. You understand fully what I'm saying, but you don't care because if you actually love, hey, Your Highness Tarot, hello. If you actually really, really loved your children, you would think about what the hell they're going through. I was looking at a bunch of videos right before I came on here of parents in the last 3 years that are just probably kicking themselves in their kicking themselves in the face because because their kids went to school and ended up killing themselves. There was one story I saw where there was a guy that stood up to his bullies and the bullies killed him. Just killed him. You could be sending your kid to school with a psychopath. Somebody that could be getting abused at home or just psychotic, and one day could walk into the school and just shoot everybody. Now, I'm gonna say this to Alex Jones. Sandy Hook really happened, and don't nobody want to be in denial about that. I I don't see how y'all do it. I think it's because there's so many people that lack empathy. In fact, there was a kid that killed himself recently because he was bullied by the teachers. Yeah, I don't contend with that. I don't agree with that. I don't. Especially considering that originally schools were created to program your children early. It was created for poor people. School was. All of the people that had any kind of advantage in the world homeschooled their children or either put them in private school. I would never put my child in a public school ever, ever. And you know what? If society wants to say, fuck that ugly bitch Jamila, I want to keep this bitch single. So if I never can afford to pay for my child to go to private school, he'll be homeschooled. I remember being totally overstimulated at school. I was a sensitive child, being bullied, being berated, being attacked. It didn't make me any stronger. It didn't. It didn't build my character. I already had strength of character. I didn't need to be bullied. And I was bullied in school. I sure was. Okay. That's one of the reasons why I dropped out at the age of 16. And I don't give a damn about fitting in. I'm just gonna keep it real with y'all. I don't care about fitting in to society's programming. I don't care. In fact, I'm trying to get. I'm going, and this is where I'm going to end up. I'm going to end up in a remote area as far away from society as possible because I'm sick of this shit. I swear to the gods, I'm just and I'm just like, what and the what? And y'all, oh God, can y'all imagine? I want y'all to think about this, see, because y'all already know how I am. When my children were in school, when they were in school and daycare, I was the parent that they always saw. I was always up at the school. In fact, the school district in Kansas City, Missouri, they wanted me to plan their menu. I said, I don't understand this. Y'all don't have people to do that because I would send my kids to school and they would give them candy all day. I didn't like that because my kids were already too hyperactive. So the kids would come home all filled up with sugar, and I complained and bitched and moaned, and that's what y'all do. Y'all say, "Oh, well, I'm gonna involve myself in this shit," and I really don't have to. You really don't have to. Every state has homeschooling laws. But I'm going to put myself in this situation and then raise hell about it all day and night as if it's going to change it. It's not going to change it. It's going to stay the same. It's going to stay the same. It's 18 years. I'm sorry. 13 years of your child's life gone. And then you don't really know what they're doing. You don't really know what they're doing spiritually. So this is no shade to any teachers. This is no shade to anybody that believes in that. But this is my family. I look, just looking around and watching the world go crazy and people acting crazy and doing crazy stuff, especially adults. And I'm supposed to go and trust some of those same adults with my kid. Right, right. I already made that mistake. Traumatized the hell out of my older kids. The first 12 or 13 years of their life, trying to get them to fit in with this fucking society. I would love to live just in a remote area, maybe even in another damn country. They don't take it seriously when you say, hey, my kid is being bullied. Hey, I don't appreciate this. And see, I've actually confronted kids about bullying my children. I will go to your child and say, what the fuck? And see, a lot of parents don't like that. Hey, SC, a lot of parents don't like that. So then let me social distance my child away from your child. I'm not going to send my child, who is extremely gifted, shy, and quiet, but definitely has a dark side to him, and he will go the fuck off. I am not going to send my kid so that you can mentally, emotionally, and spiritually torture my child. Never. And I don't give a damn about who judges me. I don't give a damn if I stay single for the rest of my fucking life. I'm going to tell y'all something. I will sacrifice my entire life for all four of my children and my grandbaby. I don't give a damn. I will stay single. If all you men in the world don't share my vision, I don't care. I don't have to. And I'm so serious about that because see, people are forgetting that I raised three older children damn near in that system and went through nothing but hell every single day. And you know what? When the kids got home, they ain't even know shit. I was the one teaching them anyway. They would go to school all day, get bullied, and then come home and not know shit. And I would have to go over their homework with them. If look, back in my day, it wasn't like this. Well, you know what? Let me take that back. Probably around when I was in middle school was when shit got crazy in the school system. But when I was in elementary school, those teachers taught you something and you went home and you knew how to do your homework. I didn't agree with Common Core. I didn't agree with it. I said, I don't understand why you're teaching my kid to do it this way when they can do it faster the other way. I didn't agree with Common Core. Trust me. Trust me. I wasn't on the PTA, but I might as well have been. They invited me. I was fully involved with all of them. They went to several schools in Kansas City, Missouri, and then they went to school when we moved to Lawrence, and then there was the issue with a lot of other stuff that I don't want to get into because it's already said and done. Okay. Okay. And then when I come to work on YouTube, I'm being bullied to the point where you're going to prevent me from earning the money to send my kid to private school, but you're going to support other bullies. Okay. So that's why I digressed from society. I said, fuck society. And I don't care about your opinion. And you see what I'm saying? And because they get off on it, half of the people in this world are sick and fucking sadistic. They'll sit and watch your kid get tortured. I swear to God, I would not want to let my child out of my sight in this society that we are living in now. And please believe that it's going to get real nasty and ugly. It's going to get real nasty and ugly. These kids are going to be spitting on each other. They're going to be like, I'm going to give you COVID. Psst, spitting on each other and stuff. This shit going to get real rugged. It's about to get real bad. And all most people care about, because most people are fucking brain dead, all they care about is fitting in with society, because society said this and said that. You know, a lot of y'all, the reason why you got health problems is probably because of school too. A lot of y'all got damn, you know, when you're getting bullied, the negative effects of being bullied, it just kind of makes you feel like you're getting ready to have a goddamn seizure. Dream state, happy recovery, healing energy to you. Okay, sweetie. Okay, I'm sorry that you were going through that, but you're gonna make it. You're gonna be okay, right? Okay. Yeah, you know, and you know what? You know what? Societies like it's y'all realize that most of the society are like zombies. You realize that the CDC has already recognized this entire world is being the zombie apocalypse. And it takes one day, one time for your kid to go to school and get jumped and be killed. There was a little girl that was killed. She was murdered. They beat her to death. Can you imagine if I can you imagine if I were to get a phone call that my child was beaten to death? Oh my God. They would they would have to put me in an asylum. I would go fucking Hannibal Lecter. So I'm not the type of parent that's going to sit up there and go, oh, something happened to my kid. Oh, I'm going to go home and cry and then go and say, oh, I forgive. I would never forgive if somebody hurt my child. That's when I'm going to be very unforgiving. That is the time to be unforgiving. I would never forgive this society if they destroyed or did anything to my children. I would never forgive, ever. When I looked at that Kanika Jenkins thing, it was so traumatizing to me that I don't think I'd ever be consolable. Yeah. Yeah, I would be inconsolable. There would be nothing that anybody could do with me. You would have to put me somewhere and Thorazine me. And God knows what I can handle. So I don't do that kind of stuff. Look, if you want to fit in with this society and you feel like, oh, well, society said this, well, society or most people in the society are zombies. Yeah, it would absolute. Oh my God. I had a miscarriage and damn near, y'all, I had a miscarriage right before I got pregnant with Jacob, and I thought that I was gonna lose my fucking mind. It is not like I commend any mother that has lost her child that is making it, because sis, I wouldn't be able to do it. I wouldn't be right no more in my head at all. Okay. Yeah, I like no. And then this whole thing with the kids being back to school, mine are at home being homeschooled. Now, I was already homeschooling before COVID kicked in. Now we gonna be social distancing until 2035. Okay, we gonna be so because That because I couldn't even imagine. It's such a petty thing. And there's kids that get killed at school at like 5 or 6 years old. And can you imagine your kid they're literally being taught how to color and draw neatly into the lines and stuff. And they're learning stuff that they're going to naturally learn anyway. They are. And you get a phone call that your kid is dead. See, there's certain things that I can't handle. So for me, I feel like this. Please help me set up a learning center for my child right here. And when my child is old enough, because right now the babies are too young. These babies are too young for this shit. When your kid goes to school with other kids, you know what's happening? Those other children are bringing all of the demons from their parents, all of the demons from their grandparents. It's just, it's like Armageddon, and it's all up in there. And you just never know when one of them kids are going to snap, crackle, and pop. Oh, God. I People be playing too much though, don't they, Dream State? People be playing like, you think this is a joke? Do it look like I'm laughing about this? I'm serious as a heart attack about this. Oh God, I am so serious. I'm so serious. I will take it all the way to the Supreme Court. Every parent has a right to protect their children. I remember when Jacob was born, y'all. And y'all know that Jacob is not vaccinated at all. Okay. Very healthy, never gets sick. Never. He never gets sick. He ain't been sick through the whole COVID, right? Not gonna do it. I remember when he was born, and the doctor said, bring him into my office in a couple of weeks. I said, okay. So I take a perfectly healthy 2-week-old child up to the doctor office, and it is filled with nothing but sick children, coughing, sneezing. I said, oh my God, because y'all know I'm a germaphobe. I said, oh my God. I just held him close to me. You know, they say, well, you need to go ahead and let him go out there and let the kid get chicken pox and stuff, and let him get some diseases and some dirt. What in the hell are you talking about? See, back when I had my first three, uh, it's a whole other ball game. It's a whole other, oh my goodness. And things have gotten worse. It hasn't gotten better. Dream State said white people. Y'all funny. You wanted him to do remote, but he didn't want to. Well, that's understandable. Are they wearing masks all day at school, SC? Oh my goddess. Yeah, I think I'd rather wait. I think I'm estimating or guesstimating that it might take another 13 years for the rest of hell to continue to pass through here. So I'm gonna continue to social distance. Okay. I'm just saying, y'all don't know what's out there. Some of these, I ain't even gonna say that. Man, I just, and so I don't trust people like that. I remember when I had little children and I was so concerned about just getting my ass to work. that I would take my kid and just take him to a daycare without thinking. And then one time I went to go pick up my children, and Deja had claw marks on her, like somebody had dug their fingernails in her skin. I would never dig my fingernails in my children's skin. Not ever. Not in nobody's child, but especially my own. I wouldn't do that to no child. And you could tell that it wasn't from another kid. You could tell it was from an adult. Mm-mm. I snatched my kids right up out of there. I did. And then that's when I started working from home. Okay, right around the time the kids, Deja and Danielle had started elementary, that's when I started working from home. I've been working from home. Okay, I've had jobs, but I haven't worked outside of the home in 14 years. Yeah, oh God, it was a nightmare. I felt like my blood was on fire. And they threatened to call the police on me. They said, "We're gonna call the police on you. You got to leave." I said, "Yeah," and I ain't, oh, I snapped. I didn't beat nobody up or kill nobody. No, but I went the fuck off. They tried to tell me, "Oh, she got into a fight with another kid." I said, "Those," and see, that's what I'm saying. People be stupid. Though I said you could tell a little kid's fingers are small. These were wide gashes in her skin. I said, "That's not from another kid. That's from a fucking adult. And I want to know who the hell did that to my child." Yeah. I acted a goddamn fool. You understand me? I acted a fool. They threatened to call the police on me. I got out. I got in my car and left. Yeah. So I just I'm cool with y'all. Y'all want to get y'all readings and stuff. Y'all want to get y'all work done because we can do work at a distance. But as far as me being all up in folk face and stuff like that, and just like, hey, hi, hey, no. And you know what? We met some really nice people when we lived over in Lawrence, Kansas. We did. We met some really nice people over there. We had so much fun over in Lawrence. The people in Lawrence were so amazing. I remember my neighbor, me and her used to get into this little war with each other because I was living in an apartment right before I moved out of there. And she used to bang on the wall. And one day I caught her outside and I walk up to her and just made friends with her that fast. And I was like, "Hey, we've been having some wall wars here, but I'm and we hugged it out and never had any problem with her since." And I don't hold grudges either, because grudges can be dangerous. Now I'm gonna tell you something. I would definitely have a grudge against somebody that hurt my child. I would. And I'm talking about real hurt. I ain't talking about cyberspace hurt, like, no, don't touch my children ever, ever. Like, my kids know this about me. They have seen me go the fuck off on people. That's why we got to do the social distancing thing. No, no, no. People don't know how to act. And then they'll say, "Oh, little Bobby Timmy," or not Bobby Timmy, but little Marvin or Thomas. They were just having a bad day and felt like bopping your kid upside the head, on top of the head. And, kids do that kind of stuff. I don't think you know who you're talking to right now. Like really? Like, I understand kids. Hey, I get it, because I've had kids around my kids and they cousins. They ain't never gotten to no fights or nothing like that. But you know how kids can be. I know that my kids as siblings did some pretty horrible things to each other, okay, while I was raising them. But As far as like other little kids or whatever, little kids usually act real good around me. You know what I'm saying? They don't do stuff like that. And so people are kind of similar about their children like they are with a dog. Like if the person's dog attacks and bites you, they'll go, "Oh, well, he was having a bad day. I don't think I should have to pay your doctor bills because my dog was just having a bad day." And and so guys, I can't do it, and I don't care about fitting in with society. I don't care. People be trying to act like, "Oh, don't nobody like you. You ain't got no friends." Good. Good, good. I ain't got to be bothered with nobody. You know what I'm saying? Because when you have kids, you realize what the fuck importance is it for friends? Your children are the most important thing. Who cares about friends? I'm a mom. Hell no, daycares. LOL. My oldest went to one, but we knew the people. She's 22 now. My youngest had me at home 7 years. Lucky. Okay, so let me tell y'all something. I went to a daycare when I was little. My mother used to take me to the daycare, and I had kind of a love-hate relationship with this family. It was an at-home family daycare. And I actually ended up going to school with one of the kids, one of their actual kids. And they were Jehovah's Witnesses. And I had several traumatizing experiences there. First of all, y'all know I love pumpkins. So we did a pumpkin carving at school. The daycare lady made me leave the pumpkin outside on the porch, and it got rained on and ruined. I actually think that one of them went out there and kicked it. I think one of them, because they were Jehovah's Witnesses, and Jehovah's Witnesses, they don't celebrate holidays. And I think they actually went out there and destroyed it, because when I went out there, it was all caved in. I was like, what happened to my pumpkin? And then one time, one of the kids rubbed turpentine on my arm to burn me. They would put me underneath the air conditioner to take naps without any blankets. I would lay there freezing. So there was little subtle things that these people would do to me to torture me. Yeah. So and I'm just real funny like that. You know what I'm saying? And then also with religion, because I knew why they had did it, because she told me, she said, you have to leave that pumpkin out on the front porch. That is not allowed in my house. And she was real mean and nasty about it. She wasn't even nice about it. She could have just said, hey, we don't celebrate that. And that's, but, to speak to me the way that she did. And then when I left, the pumpkin was like smashed in. The rain couldn't have done that. Somebody had to have went out there and just destroyed it. And so I'm real finicky about that. You know what I'm saying? And I like holidays, and I like Halloween. It's my favorite holiday. I wish that they could just give the witches an area to be in and just leave us alone. These other people are cray cray. I was so happy. I remember that day like it was yesterday. I was so happy with my pumpkin. I had carved it myself. I was so happy, y'all. Like, and I remember smiling, and as soon as I walked up to the door, she was so evil and hateful about it too. She was so hateful about it. That shit still traumatizes me. It's still traumatizing. So yeah, yeah. And my mother knew what happened, but she said she couldn't really afford to send me anywhere else. So I had to continue to go to that daycare and continue to take naps right directly up underneath a fucking air conditioner with no blanket. And I kept telling them, I'm cold. I'm cold. Can I have a blanket? They would never give me one. So I don't leave my kids with everybody. I never have. I never have left my kids with just anybody. Yeah. So, and obviously, child abusers, they go into fields like childcare, daycare, teaching. They do. They go into fields where they can have access to children. They do. You ask any child, I've never abused any child in any way. People that are, that's why I tell parents, keep your kids at home. Damn it. Because if you don't love them, nobody else will. And that's the truth. If people think that your mama don't love you, they will treat you like crap. And I decided when all of them was born, I remember the day that all of my children were born with exact detail. And I just don't do things like that. I'm sorry. My children are the most important thing in my life. Hey, Jacksonville. Yeah. So that's just my little tidbit. And sometimes when stuff like that comes up, I swear to God, like the trauma, my heart, it feels like it's just hurting and it's expanding. And does that make me, that doesn't make me crazy. That's normal. Okay, it would be different if the world were not fucked up and I was just sitting here paranoid, delusional, schizophrenic, crazy. But we all know that shit happens. Why would I want to set my child up to be a statistic for something that ain't even that important? It's not important. Oh, your kid needs to be socialized. No, you mean bully. All of my children got bullied in school. You know why? Because first of all, I think it's got something to do with that spirituality thing. I think it's because you take one good look at my kids and they came from a witch. So all of my babies got bullied. And even though they were strong kids, they were strong, hell, they was about it. My son wasn't really. I remember this little boy was messing with my son. Oh my God, it's been too many times where I had to go to hell off. So I'd rather just distance myself so that I don't have to get any altercations with anybody. Is that okay? That should be okay. It should be. Okay. And this stuff comes in through the bloodline. There was a reason why my pumpkin, my jack-o'-lantern got destroyed that day. It was a reason why. And it was total oppression and disgusting. And you know what? Maybe one day I will open up a school for baby witches. Maybe one day I'll do that. Maybe one day society will allow me to do that. Because you know what? It's not. It's not worth it. It's not. you know, it really isn't. It's people out there. They just worrying themselves half to death just over the whole thing. I gotta fit in. I gotta fit in. I gotta go along with the crowd. I gotta be popular. I gotta, even if it's a crazy person or a psychopath, oh, I want them to accept me. It can be somebody very, very unintelligent, unevolved. Oh, I just want them to accept me. I don't give a damn about who accepts me. If you accept me, you accept me. If you don't, you don't. So that's just where I'm at with that. And my son plays excellently with other children. He gets along well with other children just fine. I ain't about to have my kid at school, people breathing and coughing all over him. No, no. So, and people still wanted to I feel like God is testing us. Like, if these people really that sleep, like, COVID is one of the biggest fears in our society. One of the biggest. And somebody was saying that something worse is coming behind COVID. And people still just don't get it. And I believe that these are the sheep that are being led to slaughter. I do. Now, if you got your kid in school and your kid is fine, like SC said, she worries for her child. I totally understand that. That's how I was. I was totally worried all the time. And we have a reason to be. Because a lot of times when kids are being tormented or terrorized or bullied, they won't even tell their parents because they fear the parent going up to the school saying something and then the bullying getting worse. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Is there something to learn from being bullied? Nope, it's not. There's nothing to learn from being bullied. Being bullied feels like somebody is blinking a strobe light at you. It is very, especially if you are a sensitive child, and my whole family is sensitive. My grandmother, she was on Zoloft. She had to take 50 milligrams of Zoloft. She was in Aquarius. My grandmother, my whole family is sensitive. So can you imagine the society as it is today compared to 40 years ago? And how bullying is a game. It makes me feel absolutely sick inside. And you know what? Can I tell y'all something else? Posting your kid in social media is dangerous too. Okay, posting your children's pictures and all that in social media. If it was one other thing besides homeschooling all of my children from the beginning that I regret, is ever putting them on Facebook and in social media. If I could go back and not ever do that, I would have never done it. On YouTube, especially when I came out of the broom closet, I just wish that my children were anonymous or invisible to people, because people can be jerks, people can be buttholes. And um, when I think about the PTSD, the anxiety, Dream State was talking about the anxiety. I think that I developed anxiety in school. I probably would have never had anxiety if it weren't for it. And it's something that I've dealt with for years. I remember going through agoraphobia too. This was before I had children, but I went through agoraphobia because the world outside of your front yard, and sometimes even in your front yard, is a very dangerous, sadistic, disgusting world. So, was it 2021? Yeah. I'd say about another 14 years, Seriously. Yeah. So, I don't want to play with people because, adults should know better, but there's so many adults that are traumatized and they hold on to their trauma. When I deal with new people, when I deal with people in my life, I get excited. I love on the people in my life. I love them. But there are other people that don't know how to play so nice with people. I'm over here multitasking, y'all. I'm taking a lot of my videos off of private. So wait a minute. This one has, I think I'm gonna put this one back on private because it's got J Man in the thumbnail. And a little light skinned boy, little mixed boy, they love to bully the hell out of him. I would probably catch a case. Cause I know that with my Jacob and Ty they look very similar. They look kind of alike because they look like they mama. So trusting and I was protective, not overprotective. And when you think about movies like Carrie and stuff like that, and just because it's the truth. It's Carrie's mother was so obsessed with fitting in with mainstream religion that she set her daughter up for failure and ultimately destroyed herself and her daughter. So, you know, I think that when the world became very populated was when there was certain amounts of the human populace that were, sort of put in this little box and like, have y'all ever seen that movie The Godsend? Y'all should see it. It's from the 1970s. And I'm not talking about the movie itself. It's a horror movie. It's a very good movie. It's probably it's a very good movie because it's like really it's kind of dark. But just the whole setup, like if y'all watch that movie, like the house that the parents were living in and how it was kind of set off, just kind of in it, like I don't really want to be around society. Okay. And what does that make me, a recluse? What does that mean? I'm crazy because I want some peace and quiet and I don't want to be bothered? That's not a bad thing. That don't make a person crazy. Cause when I move out of this house, I'm probably gonna be at a cabin by a lake or something. I'm gonna have internet and stuff. I'm gonna still be vlogging. Oh, there's another movie that y'all need to see though. But some of y'all probably don't smoke no bud before you watch this movie. It's called Vivarium. They have it on Amazon Movies. And so this couple, they go and they're looking for houses. And they stumble upon this alternate universe where all of the houses look the same. If you're able to handle that type of movie psychologically because it's like a psychological horror, then y'all should see that. But it kind of speaks to uh just how people can be kind of gullible when it comes to certain things, and I think that people should pay more attention to what your children are saying to you. I don't know what was like let me okay, so I was always a quiet kid. I hung with the nerds. I was a nerd in school. I was not the cool chick. I wasn't the cool chick. I wasn't the popular chick. You know what I'm saying? I still had a social life. I still had a few friends and even a few boys that were interested in me. But I never forget I got into a fight with this bully, and she made me fight her. She said, "Me and you gonna fight." And I never forget trying to talk to my parents about what happened, and they would not. It was like they was under mind control or something. They kept fussing at me about getting into a fight in school. I'm like, are you people listening to me? The girl trapped me in the bathroom, and because I got suspended for fighting, and my parents went in on me, and it was something that I could not help. So I think that your parents can sometimes be so focused on, we got to do this. We got to go to bed at 8 o'clock. We got to get up at 6 o'clock. We got to do this. That you're not paying attention to what the hell your kids are going through. And I had consistent trauma my whole life because my parents wanted to fit in. When my mother got older, she got a little bit better, but sometimes she would kind of drift back and forth, and it's like you're never gonna fit in with these people. Why are you trying to? And my mother ended up a recluse. My mother, like, God rest her soul. Anyway, y'all, that's my stance on it, and I got the right to stand my ground with anybody without judgment because I don't care about your judgment. I know what's best for my children, period. And if they don't fit in with what society thinks is right, then it is what it is. You know, if I could find like minded people that are just like me, then I would invite them over for dinner. I would have play dates with my son and their children if I could find somebody that were like minded. But lo and behold, the universe always seems to align and match me up with the complete opposite. And a lot of people will say, oh, you don't have no friends, don't nobody like you. Good, good. That'll give me less to think about. There's a lot of people that like me. I'm not saying anything like that, but it really is, it's something. And you know what? I'm a big thinker. I think a lot. And it was the conclusion that I came to finally, shortly before I moved away from my hometown. So that's just what it is. Society can be bullies. They're bullies, they're judgmental. Um, very stressful. You got kids dying of heart attacks at the age of 15. Oh God, why did they have a heart attack? Oh, I guess it could happen. No, it probably was stress. So society, the reason why there's a heart problem, they say more people die of heart disease than any other disease is because that's all we do our whole lives is stress each other out. There's absolutely no kumbaya, you know. There's no fun in the shade and just light heartedness. It's always something heavy. It's always something traumatic. And it's been more and more these days. It's always something going on, something terrible. So that's just, where that's where we're at. And we're happy. We're happy like this. It's not that we're shut off or anything, we don't mind talking to people. And I would love to meet some other women or families in Georgia that are like-minded. They do have homeschooling clubs and stuff. Like they have like homeschool kids can actually get together, they can have field days, they can have outings and stuff. And so there is that social networking here. But and I need to get into that. That may be a good idea because but so far the only social networking that has been done is me being harassed by people that I would never want to be around. You know what I'm saying? Like I wouldn't want to be around you because it's very robotic. It's almost like dealing with artificial intelligence sometimes. It's very strange. And it's scary because I'm used to human beings, right? That's pretty much what I'm used to. And so when you look at a person that is that programmed, it's almost like it's like a trauma to my soul. You know what I'm saying? It's like a trauma to the soul. It's almost like you are in some sort of alternative universe, some kind of parallel universe. You know what I'm saying? So y'all get what I'm saying anyway. It's been High Priestess Jamila. I'm gonna go. If ain't nobody told you they loved you today, Jamila loves you. And hug your babies for me, because I love them too. And I will see y'all later. It's 11:30. It's past my bedtime. I've got to go. Love and light.